Hello, happy Thursday. Welcome to the Love Thyself channel. I am excited to get started with this new series of real life examples that happen in relationships, all relationships, romantic, platonic, family dynamics, professional relationships. And I did hear all of you guys in the comment section. So the majority of the votes stated that you would like a main example, which will be this main video, and then also a 2-minute tune-up sort of to drill the point home, to give some extra context to make it stick. So I will oblige. So it will be a main video and a 2-minute tune-up it is. All right, so for this first video, as you can glean from the thumbnail, it's about a person that doesn't feel seen, a person that feels ignored, maybe where they feel like the attention isn't on them, but they want that attention. And then this will be a romantic example, like if you're in a relationship or you're dating someone. So the example would be you're out on a date, either with your partner for however long or a new partner, whomever it may be. But that person that you're out on the date with, they are scrolling on their phone. They're not engaging with you at all. So as you can imagine, this is something that you probably wanted to do. You wanted to go out on a date. You wanted to have a good time. You wanted to spend time with that person, right? So before you hit the red alert button, I want you to think about those 4 core principles that I brought up in the intro video about how you pretty much deal with any life situation. And I'm going to apply how some of those principles will apply to this example. And I will also include the link to that video in case you haven't seen it, about how to deal with any life situation. So the first thing that you do if you feel like you're being ignored on a date, or you feel like your partner isn't engaging with you, so step 1 is just take notice of it. Just notice what's happening. Don't react right away. Just sort of pay attention to how you feel at the moment. So you may be feeling irritated. You may feel invisible. You may feel disappointed, right? So that pause gives you the control instead of just reacting from being hurt or annoyed or whatever. So the principle, of course, that is a precedent there, or that takes precedence there, is the 5-second rule. Just take a moment and think about and feel what's really happening before you just give a knee-jerk reaction. All right. Now, number 2, this is very important. You have to communicate with the person to let them know how you feel, right? So this can't, the thing is, the other person is not a mind reader. You would think, okay, anyone with half a brain, they would know I'm here, you're on your phone, you're ignoring me, so this isn't a good situation. But you need to actually use your words, because even though that makes sense, that other person is not you, right? So you have to make sure that you give an explanation, or you give like an example of how you are feeling or what your needs are in that moment. So maybe that you would say something just very gentle, but something that gets the point across as well. So you want to lean into them and say, hey, you know what? I've been really looking forward to this date, and I've been looking forward to spending some time. So I would really like your full attention for a bit, right? Just something as simple as that. You don't have to get really wordy, like, oh, whatever is going on in your phone must be, don't even get into all that, because basically when you say this statement, that's going to let them know, okay, they've gotten my attention to give me this statement about, they want my attention, And make sure that you use I statements, because I've heard so many times, you would think that this would be plain as day, but other people would say, oh, well, I didn't know what you meant by that. I didn't know if you were just speaking in general about something that happened somewhere else that you were trying to show me. No, make sure that you use I statements. I have been looking forward to this for a bit, and I'd love your full attention. Make sure that you make it clear so they can't have any confusion about something that you feel that you need, right? Now, number 3 is important. It also is reflective of giving a pause. And then also number 2 about communicating calmly. That is a part of the never let it be on you. Put the ball in their court. Okay, again, that'll be in the main video if that doesn't make sense. So when you have communication, you should never be holding the ball, right? You do what you do, you pass the ball and say, hey, it's your time to respond. So anyway, getting back to number 3, give them a space to change their behavior. You don't have to demand, I demand that you do this. No, because if someone really cares about spending time with you, if they care about you in general, they're going to make adjustments, right? They're going to make adjustments and say, hey, they voiced how they felt. I want to make sure that I don't disappoint them further. If you're with somebody that really cares about you. Alrighty, so watch how they respond, right? So if they put the phone down, they appreciate what you've said, and they refocus on the moment, great. It's a safe bet that that person is really liking you. They got distracted for whatever reason. They'll probably go over that and, go on with the night. Now, if the person continues to do what they're doing, that was core 4 principle number 1, which means that actions reveal the truth. Okay, no matter what somebody says, they need to back it up with the action. So if they continue to do it, you have your answer. They're not engaged with you. So don't force it. Don't try to push it and say, hey, nope, you've already said it once. There's no need to keep honing it in and saying how you feel. You've already said it, and you've already said why this was important to you and what you needed. That's it. If that person cares about you, they are going to comply. All right. So if they do not give you the attention that you believe you deserve, you know what? Take a mental note of that, right? Note that behavior, because once again, that says a lot without them saying anything, right? So depending on how they responded, no matter what they do, make sure you finish your night with grace. Have a good time. But from that point forward, if they responded where they did not make any adjustments to their behavior, you can't be responsible for their behavior, but you're responsible for your own. So from that point, you make adjustments that are going to make you happy. Not to say you have to hold a grudge for that person, but if that person didn't have enough gumption to say, hey, you know what? I respect them for coming to me and telling me how they felt. I want to make sure that they have a good night. I want to make them feel special and let them know that I appreciate them. From that point on, you invest in yourself. Don't spend any additional time investing in them. Now, if you do this the right way with somebody that really cares about you, and like maybe they just didn't get it that night for whatever reason, I don't know, they had a school assignment, something's going on tragic in their family that either they should have explained so you would get the premise of why they're so engaged in their phone. Either way, you make sure that you stand on investing in you, and then that person will eventually say, you know what? They're not suggesting that we do anything anymore. They're not suggesting this, and you don't. Everything that you do, make sure it's about you feeling pleased. Now, of course, these scenarios are going to run the gamut depending on what your situation is with the person. If this is like your husband, of course, you live with them, right? You live with them, so it's going to be like, okay, it's going to be more of a repetitive thing where you have to sort of almost keep like record keeping of what happened, the date, the time, because I do that. I don't have to do it now, but in the past I've done that because you know how you get into a conversation with someone and you think that you have a good record of this in your mind, and then the person says, give me some examples. What are you talking about? I noticed that if you just take note of this, if this is happening all the time, whip out your notepad on your phone and say, oh, you want dates, times? Here, I have the receipts. Not to be petty or anything, but sometimes we just gloss over that. We don't have that information readily available. And you think, you know what, if this is as important to you as it is to me, you would already know what happened. So keep a note of what happened. So like I said, if it's your husband, it's a little bit more trickier because you have to almost have that pattern that they're not paying attention. If it's someone that you're living with, you're not married, still put those notes together. And then eventually, if this is becoming a problem, eventually you're going to have to choose you. So that means that you're probably going to have to make some difficult decisions. But like I said, give that person a chance. And then everyone doesn't get it like right away, like that moment. Sometimes people need like, I've been noticing over the past few weeks, everyone is not the same. And then also, if this has happened with you in repeat relationships, don't reference your other partner. Just as if you were with someone, you don't want someone saying, hey, my ex used to do that. You're like, you know what? I don't want to be compared to your ex. You know, if you have all of these problems, or if you have all of these triggers, that's something that you need to do to get some healthy coping mechanisms so that you feel healed. That's not your problem. That's why I say make sure that when you are talking to people that you use I statements to let them know how you feel. All right. So, and then lastly, like I said, finish your evening with grace. And that's just a matter of protecting your peace. All right. So pretty much any situation that you have going on, like I said, those core 4 principles will work greatly. Just make sure that you are really taking a moment to soak in what's happening. I think normally just as humans, we just, we're feeling a certain way and then we have that reaction. And then from that reaction, there's the outcome. So in order to start doing things differently, this is going to take practice. So hopefully no one is going through this on a regular basis. But if you are, practice that. Like I said, notice, don't react right away. Communicate calmly with them to let them know what's going on. Give them space to make some adjustments. And then if they don't, no matter what happens, finish your situation, your evening with grace, but protect your peace. So, if it's something that you need to step away from, say, hey, if it's someplace that you came in your car, they came in their car, you finish your evening and say, hey, you know what? I enjoyed my meal. I enjoyed whatever. You know what? I'll talk to you later. Don't make any further investments into someone that's not investing in you. Okay. There needs to be some reciprocation there. So otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this example. If you can do me a favor, after you've listened to the example about being ignored, where your partner is doing other stuff while you guys are supposed to be spending quality time, you voice how you felt, so forth. I want you to list in the comments section which one of the self-care, self-love topics, it could be more than one, did this address? Because we went through that the first 52 weeks of the year. Now these are real life examples that apply to that. So if you could just drop a line in the comments section and just state which one of the self-care, self-love topics did this scenario, this example address. All right. So I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday and a great rest of your week. Tomorrow is the gratitude giveaway. So I will jump on here. Normally I'll be here twice a week, but I will get on tomorrow to announce the winner or winners of the gratitude giveaway. So you guys take care and be well.